like to thank you for doing this interview with the Hype Magazine tonight.
My pleasure, man. My pleasure. Honor and the pleasure. It's an honor to be here.
Yeah, super excited for this opportunity, man. To get started, can you tell the fans and listeners who you are and where you're from?
My name is Larry, a.k.a. Nuface, local hip-hop historian, hip-hop hoarder, hip-hop fan. You know, your favorite collector's favorite collector.
Yeah. So how did you get started collecting in the first place? Like, what was the first item you collected in your journey of memorabilia?
So I remember early as before this happened, it was G.I. Joes, Transformers, comic books, and things like that until my father took me to a show, and it was called the Fresh Fest, and it was end up being Houdini. Beastie Boys were on stage when I walked in. You see a gentleman on the radio boombox rapping, and that was LL Cool J, and then it ended up with Run DMC. What happened at the end, Run DMC said, is you have Adidas, take your shoes off, put them in the air. And what my father had previously did before we got there is took us to the mall and bought me an Adidas tracksuit for him, me and my cousin, black with the 3 red stripes and the shoes. So when the Run DMC said that, I'm looking around, looking at other people lifting their shoes up, and I was able to do the same thing. So I was a fan for life because I seen people that look like me from all ethnic groups to all ages, and I was like, okay, this is a hip hop, this is something I could be a part of. And so what I did was I saved that ticket stub. So that was probably one of the first things I collected. My father bought me a stuffed animal. I still have that, and I also have the sweater he bought me with the with my name embroidered on it, like when I was just 4 years old. So I never threw anything away.
Okay. So do you have like a lockers, or do you have places in your house? Where are you keeping all this dope memorabilia you have?
Fortunately, I've been able to share it with other cultures. So the Trap Music Museum has some of my stuff on display. Some other exhibits have my stuff on display. Some people have been using it in music videos. But most of it is definitely stored in my house, and I keep some of the very valuable things in a little storage unit I call the Bat Cave.
Yeah. Now I know you're originally from Detroit. How did you move to Atlanta in the first place?
It was a college tour. I went there, and somebody was recruiting that was already going to college here in Atlanta, and they were recruiting high school students from Detroit. So there was a picnic, and I met my friend Damon Thomas, who was already in the mass media departments at CAU, and he was just talking to my family and saying what he was doing. So I visited here on a college tour trip, and once I got here and we had a break to go around and be to ourselves, I hopped on the bus, and there was Freaknik going on. So if you know what Freaknik was about, it was like I'm seeing my favorite rappers that I seen on TV just riding in the street, from Too Short, Jermaine Dupri, and Criss Cross, and Redman. Everybody I seen on TV and Yo MTV Raps, I just seen them just nonchalantly driving around in the city of Atlanta. So I would say it was Freaknik got me here, but I just enrolled in CAU and been here ever since.
Yeah. Now we all know you today as all the stuff you're doing and all the new faces here. Like, your brand is so amazing right now. How did you get started with this? There's a lot of money that goes into going to all these shows. There's a lot of relationships you had to build. Like, how did you get your first behind the scenes access, I would say, or your first access to a show?
Well, it went from I have a collection of maybe 5,000 to 10,000 ticket stubs. So it really started as a fan. Like, if I seen a show coming to town, I'm going on Ticketmaster, I'm going to the box office, I'm buying a ticket. Then it got from me always buying the tickets to going to the meet and greet, getting the autograph with the artist so many times that somebody like Killer Mike was like, it's to a point where Nuface shouldn't have to buy a ticket to no show and nowhere ever. So I kind of was like, because what was happening was I would buy the ticket, I would wait in line, and then when the artist or their team would come out and they'd be like, yo, Nuface, what are you doing waiting in line? Like, why you didn't call us, or why you didn't? And then I would walk in with them, and I'm like happy, but I'm also like, I could have kept my damn money. Like, I could have, dang. So it just went from Killer Mike telling me that, and I was like, you know what, I'll just bet on my face card. And so it went from just like, I'll never buy another ticket, and then I'll show up at the back door and let the universe handle the rest. And unfortunately, it's
Yeah.
for maybe the last 3 to 4 years, I've even walked in with the artists, or people have put me on a list, or I've even booked the shows and I bring the artists. So it's like, it just came from that relationship where it was like not asking these artists for anything, but always providing value for them, or taking pictures
Yeah.
for them, or bringing something and just showing my respect. So people will always remember that. Unfortunately, for my sake, it's got me to be in those behind the scenes
Yeah.
and getting those behind the scene moments that other people don't get to see. After everybody leaves, I'm able to still be with the artists or go with the after party, and just bond with these people. So these artists that are everybody's rap heroes and still mine are becoming like personal friends of mine.
Yeah. I seen you got to like highlight in some of it. You got to take a shot with 8 Ball MJG back behind the show. Like it's a genuine relationship. But I know you were a fan of all these people coming up from the Midwest. Like, what was the first celebrity you actually built a good relationship with, and how did that connection get built in the first place?
Um, I would say somebody like Big Crit, um,
Yeah. Yeah.
Killer Mike early on, Young Dro, um, Fabo from D4L, Little Scrappy. And same thing at every show. This is a time where every time somebody album dropped, there would always be an in-store, a meet and greet. You buy the album will come out, and at 12 o'clock on Monday evening, there's a line at Tower Records or HMV or a record store where they would, drop off and they'll sign autographs. So it just came every 2 years. It was me. I'm buying the tapes, and then it's like, oh, you again? Hey, you okay? Oh, Nuface, yeah. And then it just comes from bonding like that, and same thing, and being early on. So from the trap music inception, the Killer Mike's transition from Purple Ribbon to solo artist, and now he's running jewels and 3-time Grammy winner, and I got
Yeah.
Fable a Grammy for putting him on the album. It's like
Yep.
it's that same thing. I'm genuinely who I am when I walk in the room. I don't have to be somebody else when I walk in. These people, we have real conversations. It's not built on what they do for me or what I can do for them, but like, these are really real personal friends of mine
Yeah.
now.
So I know your goal was to create your own museum with this material and stuff, and I know you've lent a lot of material to Trap Museum. So what was that relationship with Trap Museum that allowed you to provide them the memorabilia you've given them?
Relationships again. Putting it out there, what I do, social media always helps because, it was a call where they were like, a friend of mine, Maya Bailey, who owns City of Ink, a very popular black-owned tattoo parlor here. Great artist. He's done tattoos from your favorite artists. Um, Him finding out, and a couple people was like, "Well, if you're gonna do a museum, like it's 3 people was like, there's no way you can kind of do this without Nuface." So
Yep.
I got that call, and then a call from Ti's team was like, "Well, come up to the building where we at, and bring what you got." And in my collection, that was kind of pretty easy because that's gonna be a Jeezy, a Gucci, a Ti, trap
Yeah.
music. I brought some Gangsta Boo, some Trina, some Mia X, and then I just really pulled up there. Ti was there, and I just laid out everything. And then it was like a full circle moment for him because we weren't as close before. It was just I was in and out, but I showed him proof, like, and he was like, "No, you really was there." Like, it's
Yeah.
pictures of him holding my daughter. It's him pictures with my mama and him. It's pictures with him and Tiny, like from the early stages of his career. And so it was like, all right, so they put my stuff in the OG room, they call it.
Yeah.
And it was just a big old display. And then another exhibit came, and they were like, Scotty ATL's his grill. He does a grill company here, so my
Yeah.
collection is on display in there currently. When other people do events, I'm able to take artists there and do personal tours. I took Gangsta Boo there, Mia X, and they were to see their collection of mine on the wall, or even journalists from a Daytwan Thomas, who was a editor-in-chief at King Magazine or Respect Magazine, Vibe Magazine currently. I'm able to take him in there. He's like, "Oh, that was my cover. Oh, I did that cover." Or, what I'm saying? So this is just great to be a part of that. And, Trap Music Museum always open their doors for me and support whatever I got going on, man. It's a good relationship. So it's really people just knowing what I do and put me in the rooms.
Yeah. Now, are more museums like more mainstream museums or anything like that reaching out to you yet for some of the memorabilia you have?
Mostly exhibits.
Yeah,
So last year probably was my busiest year yet, with the 50 years of hip hop, because I did the
yeah,
Rock the Bell cruise. I decorated that. We did Earwax, which was a popular record store here in Atlanta,
yeah.
for over 30, 40 years. He did a installation with Atlanta influences everything. And we remade and reimagined my bedroom as a kid. So that exhibit was cool. It had all my toys and my Nintendo and everything like that. We did another exhibit for the Revolt World with hip hop and technology. So I had my video games, and we just did. And so, my goal is to do my own another exhibit of mine,
Okay.
but also like the High Museum,
Yeah.
where Virgil Abloh did one, and even coming Friday, Swiss Beats and Alicia Keys has their opening reception. So I'm gonna be
Oh
coming
wow.
to that. So that's really a goal of mine, is to do the High Museum of Art in Atlanta.
That'd be fire. You could see what they did with Jay-Z, in New York. You could see you doing something like that as well, when honoring all your friends and people you've been behind all these years.
Yeah, most definitely. That's big goals. I attended that too, and it was just, I walked around maybe like 3 times. I kept going back to get programs. The Jay Z program, I went and got the Jay Z library card, the different copies. Well, I was walking around like New York like a tourist. I went and got the LL Cool J and Queens Metro card, that type of thing. So, no, I had a good time in the Book of Hope.
Now, how did you get to where its Nuface was there? Like, you being someone who's collected all this memorabilia, and yes, you've been on all these locations, but what was the transition you and your team made where it became kind of the stamp of approval? Like, if Nuface is here, it's a dope event, or if he's not here, like, how did you guys do that?
Um, Showing up every time. If I seen an event and it really started out with just supporting my friends. I DJs, photographers, comedians are pretty, and artists, of course, but are pretty much like my favorite people, because
Yeah,
just supporting their journeys. But so if I go to an event by my friend DJ Mars, he happens to be Monica's DJ and Usher's
yep,
DJ. He used to do, he's a great DJ, but I go to an event of his, and some of those artists might come in, but I really initially just went to go support my friend.
yeah,
And so I'm that person while they're working, and then they get home and they like, and I post something. They're like, "Oh, send me that video. Send me that video. Oh,
yep,
you got the good footage." It's like,
yep,
and it's cool because people be like, you should have somebody follow you, or you should have your camera. But I think people just like that real feel of my perspective from a fan perspective. I don't try to go for
yeah,
the great angles, the quality. Like,
yep,
I mean, I
yep,
can, but what always seems to happen is the artists usually repost my footage, and it gives us that fan perspective, and from either from the stage, behind the stage, from the nosebleed seats to front row, like, you're able to get all that in one for perspective from my page. So I think
yeah,
it really just started from supporting my friends, but again, adding value, showing context. People watching
yep,
my videos, they like, I get to watch it through Nuface page. I didn't go. I wish I went. Or they're live,
yep,
and people in the live comments saying thank you. I wanted to go there. You know what I'm saying? Or tell me when the next event is. So it's like, if I tag that event, then that's good for them. My one of my other goals is to do like a Nuface was their app. You want to know what's popping in the city?
yeah.
Subscribe to my app. Every day you'll get a notification. You pop up at one of these events. You might see me. If you see me, you might get a prize like Pikachu. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I might get the DJ to shout you out. Tell them Nuface sent you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just, again, adding value to the culture. And if you weren't there, Nuface was there to provide you that front row view.
Now, you definitely provide a lot of value to 65 South. We all became very familiar with some of the memorabilia you've shown to some of the best artists, that came through there. So how did you guys meet? And what has the relationship been like? Did you see any changes as you kept going on there, showing the like? Did anything pick up from that? I guess.
Two things. It started with the relationship with the host, Sensei. I call him Carlos Miller.
Yeah,
Again,
Carlos.
comedian. When I was making clothes, New Face started as a t-shirt brand. I was making t-shirts for comedians and artists, um, and he was one of them. So I would used to put his catchphrases on t-shirts, and before we have a show, I bring it up to him, and then maybe the next show, he wearing it on stage. I seen this guy do comedy in pool halls. I seen this guy do comedy in strip
Yeah,
clubs. I seen him start out doing 85 South show in Smith's Old Bar, which is a famous bar here, and where they were happy to sell 27 tickets to now they're selling
Yeah.
out arenas, Fox Theaters. So it started with
Arenas
that
everywhere.
relationship. So when he would have shows and the podcast was starting, it was two ways. I would say, we should get so and so on, and I'd call him and be like, you want to be on the show? Or he would do it and he'd be like, we got Big Gip on the show. Bring your Nuface stuff, or we got KLC. So it just started building, and it really from there. And DC Young Fly, I known him for a long time, just from the Vine era, supporting him. But I watched him sit there in comedy shows and take notes before he was even a stand-up comedian. So the same thing applies. Now they got their own studio. I watched them go through 4 different locations shooting the podcast, and now having their own location with their own. And now they're shooting like 5 different shows out of them.
Yeah.
We just started one called Live on Edgewood with Scotty ATL. I'm the co-host along with Erica Duchess and himself. So it's just really relationships. And Carlos, he always saying my name or inviting me in rooms, where I wouldn't have been in there. From Snoop Dogg to Birdman, Busta Rhymes. Like, that's all because Carlos let me know who was going to be there, or I booked him. You know what I'm saying? So this is transactional friendship right there.
Yeah, shout out to TJ and my family, Bob. I seen you did Bob that way. Like, he was standing there. He's an ATL legend in his own right, but you came in, you had magazine after magazine and books and like, okay, what's the craziest response you got from someone because you had not a whole bunch of memorabilia, but you had one piece they didn't even have no more?
If you watch Legendary Jerry with T-Pain, I pulled out a Trick Daddy cassette tape that was autographed, and he was like, "Wait, is this for me?" And I was like, "No." And then because he said the reason he started producing was some of the music that was on that tape. He was like, "This album right here really inspired him to do how he produces back then." And so he was telling the story, and he slowly just started putting the tape in his pocket. And I'm like, wait, am I getting robbed on my own show? You know what I'm saying? So, that was a funny response because, Dave Chappelle kind of did the same thing too.
Yeah.
Mike Epps, like, funny responses, but the best response is usually when they pull out their phone and, like, I've heard Snoop Dogg say, "Man, you sitting on $1 million, nephew." Or Birdman saying, "Man, oh, you rich, playboy." So it's just DJ Quick saying things like, "Man, I got this is my tape, but I ain't even got one of these." So once I see them, but probably my favorite moment is like Nipsey Hussle signing his Victory Lap cassette, because somebody may have the CD, somebody may have the record, somebody may have the tape, but nobody in the world probably got that cassette tape. I've scoured the world and the internet. Nobody's got that cassette tape signed by Nipsey Hussle.
So how do you?
Like that.
I know you're very big on cassette tapes, CDs, records. Like, you're paying all the merchandise and stuff we're using today. How do you get all these class? I know you were there, but like, did you buy them early on and then you just held them all these years, or do you have a different way to get them re-released?
Well, so my family, my cousins, older uncles, they were record collectors. So my grandfather, my daddy used to listen to records. That's one. My cousins would always go to the tape store, cassette store, record stores every Tuesdays. That was big. And I was with got a lot of guys in the streets, so like they would have a lot of stuff because the money was flowing. But if something happens, I say the law, and the house got raided, and they asked me to go get their stuff from the music, the TVs, the VCRs, the video games. I'll go to the house after the police left and kind of protect their stuff and hold it down till they got out. In most cases, they let me keep it. In most cases they didn't, or they let me have some stuff. But I tell you, one of the cool things that I did. So to answer your questions that way, but I used to just go to the tape store every Tuesday and buy mixtapes and cassettes. But when we had this phase, and you got to be my generation, Columbia House, 12 tapes for a penny.
Yes.
I had aliases galore. Things were coming to my house. My mama said, "Edward James, who is Luis Gonzalez, and who is this and that? Who is this? I'll take that. So back then that was where I guess a majority, and that was the cassettes. You get 12 cassettes, you pay the shipping and handling, and I probably
like 99 cents to start or something like that. Yeah.
And then there was a membership, and every 3 weeks they'll sing cassettes. So I say the bulk of my collection started with that, but the other half is me just going every week, every Tuesday, buying music. You know what I'm saying?
How exciting is it to see that we're going back into that? Like some of the major artists now are releasing tapes, they're releasing CDs, records, like they're getting back into that phase of releasing music. How exciting is that for you, someone who collects this stuff?
Oh, I love it because it's like I've always championed physical copies. You see me going to DBS Sounds, and he's telling me every day, Nuface, our vinyl collection is going through the roof. It's coming back. He's doing in stores with artists, even younger artists. I love this, but my funniest part is the young generation are in line and they're buying the CD and they're like, "What is this? And where do we play this?
Where he put it?
Where do we
Yep.
put it?" But they do know if they buy it, they get a picture with the artist. So
Yep.
they do buy it and they do support it. But it's just weird to see the generation like, "What is this? And what is this concoction?" Because most cars don't even have CD players now. So
Nope.
it's like, it's cool to see it, and it's cool because I'm looking at the prices that
Yep.
some of these companies are charging. I'm like, I'm glad I got the original. I don't need the repressing of it. I got the first copy, so I'm happy for fans of now. But to just see that it's at the top of his game and coming back popular is a great sight to see.
Now you just came from Kuda Fest. You got a chance to be behind the scenes again. A lot of surprise guests and stuff like that. What was the experience like at Kuda Fest for people who didn't get a chance to go there? What were some of the highlights for you?
Oh man, so backstage I got to see the entrance of like Soldier Boy coming in, Kai Cenat,
Yeah.
the whole Rich Kids, Travis Porter, watched 21 Savage kind of sneak in. And then going inside, I was a guest of Heineken. So usually, like you said, I was backstage, and that's the thing, I get tickets and I never go to where I'm supposed to sit.
Right.
But this is
Right.
the first time that it said VIP. So I'm like, let me see at
Yeah.
least where these tickets at. And I go in there like, yeah, go to the elevator and you go up there. So I go up there, they give us wristbands, they escort us, and we got like our own little suite. And they're
Yeah.
like open bar and open food and free food and drinks. And I'm like, oh shit. It's higher, but it was a great view. But I'm used
Mm-hmm.
to like kind of being closer up. But I'm talking about experience. I was with my artist that I work with, Tone Marie, and we really had a suite to ourselves. Like
Yeah.
the bar was right behind us. It was great. We seen everybody come in, and it was great. I had this shirt on with all Atlanta artists, and the goal that I
Oh yeah.
had was like walking up to them and asking them to find their name. So I got content of them looking for them artists and seeing how quick did they find it. But the experience was great because got to see Glorilla, uh, 21 Savage, and of course the 85 South show. DC Young Fly was one of the hosts. Nav Green went viral. If you look at 85 South Show, the video I posted is at 1.7 million views of him getting twerked on. So
Yeah. I seen
again,
that.
85 South reposted my video. It's just things
Yeah.
like that. Like it's home team. Everybody wins. I just left on set with T.I.'s new movie, and Nav Green is one of the actors in it, The Apartment. So it's just supporting the team, man. But I loved it though. It was funny. Young M.A. came, Meek Mill came out. A lot of surprise guests. Baby Drill.
Yeah.
Not a surprise guest, but it was successful. No violence. Great event.
Now, you mentioned this was your first time be a VIP. How are you dealing with this newfound fame? Like everybody in the industry who is in the game, we've known who you are. We've always loved and supported you, but now it's the public. Public is running up to you and taking pictures. Like, how are you dealing with this new success?
Oh yeah, that's what I be telling people, and I call it my new normal. Like,
Yep.
I would be able to leave an event and go to the next one, but now what I started doing is just leaving 10 minutes earlier before that because what happens is, like you said, I'm leaving and I meet somebody and I love what you do. They paying their respects and you a legend. I seen you this and then that, and then it comes into, man, you want to follow me or you take the picture or you want to listen to my music or you manage artists. So it's this conversation that's like, I was just trying to get to the outdoor, I'm trying to leave, but I keep that face on because I always say, like, how ironic would it be is I'm known for taking pictures with all the artists and I'm the dude that's like, no pictures, no
No, no
pictures.
pictures. Like, not me.
Yeah, not me. So it's great because I love to be, because it's all love, everybody just paying their respects. At least it's for something positive, and it's great to see it because they're just paying their respects and want to be a part of the culture. So it's great though.
Yeah, it's amazing you're getting your flowers like that. Shout out to my family with Twisted Cap. I know you got a limited edition Atlanta hat, and shirt. How's it? How's people responding? And when you got this, nobody else got this in the whole city. I know Atlanta, they love that new stuff. How does it feel to know you're getting merch like this and stuff like that from people who are respecting you now?
Oh yeah, that's great because the thing is they know I'm gonna be somewhere. So if somebody give me product, like it's gonna go viral, or the mayor, or your favorite rapper gonna be standing right next to it, or I'll be giving it to them. And that's the thing. Like I haven't had to buy clothes in like 7-8 years, because of those type of relationships. Like I told somebody, I was like, and I just got an underwear and sock connect. Like I was like, I don't need nothing. I need a car connect. Like that's
Okay,
the
there you
only
go.
thing.
Yeah,
That's the only vision, like a car ride share. But as far as clothes, hats, glasses, grills from Scotty, I got the sock connect now. I got the drawers connect. Like it's great because, and then now what I'm doing is providing them with exposure. You know what I'm saying? I give it to them. They genuinely love it. They know I'm coming with the fresh stuff. I do a show out of Giorgio's, which is a clothing store, and I'm able to go in there and shop and rep them, and it's like everybody wins. I'm able to show them their product. I'm wearing their product. People seeing it in real time. I'm able to bring them the product, and that's content. You know what I'm saying? You could see Snoop Dogg episode. I gave him glasses from Giorgio's. That he just gave his glasses to Chico Bean, so it was like a full circle moment. So you'll see me, and it's just great because it's like, again, it's true to what I've always been doing. Giving back, saying thank you, and that's my way to say thank you because over the years, like. I hear a lot of people saying never meet your heroes, but I don't have that experience where somebody was mean or like no autographs or no, not, it's days where they had their off days, but I don't take it personal. I'll catch them on the rebound because, that's how it is. Like, and that's probably the only one thing I did that happened to DMX is, I had saw Swiss Beats. He signed the DMX thing. I even saw Jonathan Mannion. He signed the cover because he shot the infamous photo with DMX in the blood.
Yeah.
And this is all in Miami, like in a 10-minute period. I seen both of them, and I seen DMX coming out, sound check, and talking to him. I told him I seen Swiss and Jonathan Mannion. Then I pulled it out and said, "Man, would you sign this?" He's like, "I don't do the autographs, dog." And I was like, "Oh, okay," but I shot my shot, man.
Gotcha. Do they ever say that, but then realize it's you and be like, "Oh, my bad, Nuface. We got you, fan." Like, how many is that ever happened for you?
Oh yeah, most definitely. That's happened a lot now. It's like, or I may not have anything. And they're like, "What you got in your bag?" Oh, he got something. He got something. So, hey, man, I'm just walking in my purpose. You know what I'm saying? They always look for me to have something, but I keep a Sharpie on me at all moments, just in case.
Just
I
in
might
case.
not have nothing, but they gonna find, like, most recently, Erykah Badu. I had my artist. She had Erykah Badu tattooed to her. So I was like, have Erykah's autographed the tattoo and then get that tattoo. So we was able to get that documented, and then that happened. So Erykah signed the CD and she signed her arm. So, but I always keep that Sharpie on me.
Yeah. So you're part of a lot of podcasts, and you helped with Ray Daniels early on. How great does it feel to be able to lend your expertise to all these great, other media outlets, to with their podcasts, and how does it feel to see Atlanta getting the respect you guys are due for the media game right now?
Oh, it's great because, again, exactly what you said, the media game, and it's always this controversy of what the South media looks like and who's running it. Is there a South media? And of course, you look at the media greats here. You got your progress reports. You got your Ray Daniels now. You got the Big Facts. You got your Beehive. You got your 85 South Show. You got all these platforms. Legendary Jerry, Killer Mike did his podcast, Love and Respect, T.I. Expeditiously.
Yeah.
And I've been a part of all those, you know what I'm saying, and to be a guest, sometimes multiple times. But it's like, I look at myself like, bro, man, from the Fifth Lawn Martin, because a lot of people are like, do your own show, but I'm like, do you know I'm like a part of like 12 different podcasts?
Yep.
Like, and I just think that's more carefree. I do have my own at Giorgio's, but it's just like I want to just shoot those, and I'm at like 89 episodes. But I'm gonna want to wait till I get 100 and then start promoting. But I love just being able to come in and out, do my thing, and it's still fun and it's fresh because I just think about if I do my own, like what's over that, what's next after that. So I'm just having fun with the journey right now and being a part of value. Like I just did the show yesterday, and Big Bank was like, "Man, you add value
Yeah.
to most of the podcasts on there." Because he was like, "You were just the co-host on Jerry, and he was a guest on there." So it's like cool to even act like I didn't just interview on my show or on
Yeah.
their show, or it's like how you balance that out. So it's always been cool, you know what I'm saying. But long as I'm adding value and appreciate it, man, I'm gonna keep running this
Yeah.
to the moon.
Now, for anybody, I know there's a lot of people want to get into the podcast game or want to get into the content game. Any advice you would give them for how things are now with all these changes and modifications that happened recently?
I would just say, just do it. I think a lot of people get into the part of, I got to get the shooter, the right shooter,
Yeah.
the cameras. I got to get the equipment, and then I'm a shooter. I'm gonna find the set, and I'm gonna shoot. But what I've found out is just start shooting.
Yep.
And Ray Daniels taught me that. He was like, I thought in my head, I'm gonna just get the guests, and then when they wasn't calling, he was like, I just started doing it myself. And
Yeah.
then the guests start calling. Like a lot of people waiting for the moment, the
Yep.
perfect time, and it's never a perfect time. It's always just do it, and you'll
Yeah.
get better with time. I've seen 85 South go to the smallest places, and they just tape it. It may
Yeah.
be 1 hour, it may be 4 hours. They just tape, and they just, you never know. But you have to get that practice on. I wasn't the most camera friendly person 4 to 5 years ago. I wouldn't have, I said no to every opportunity to be in front of the camera.
Yep.
But now it's like I have a brand now, so it's like no, I gotta keep doing that, and that's my practice. That's me showing my shot.
Yeah. Because I'm like you, I was behind the scenes on my career and then came out, for helping with these interviews. What made you come out to the front? And then how has that been for you? Like, do you still want to go back into the behind the scenes, or are you enjoying being outside now in front of the cameras?
What I say outside is added followers to my page, has
Yeah.
added money to my account,
Yeah.
and posting more. My followers have went up. My page has been monetized. I do
Congrats.
branding and
Yeah.
promotion for multiple brands, so people pay me to do Instagram posts and promoting their brand. So that's all a product of being coming out of my comfort zone and stepping
Yep.
outside. But it was a comment from Kenny Burns, who's a lifestyle specialist, and he said, once you start a brand, you have to become the brand.
Yep.
So I thought to myself, I'm Nuface, but people don't know who I am. And let me start. Nuface was there, but you can't tell people you there. People come out to me, I'm the best rapper, I'm the best this, but you have to show me. I can't
Yep.
take your word for it. So if I say Nuface was there, I have to show people what that looks like.
Yep.
If that takes being at 4 events in one night, and you be like, oh, he really is everywhere. Now people are saying I got a clone, like, or
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. So it's like, but it helps with the urban myth, you know what I'm saying. But that's part of the coming outside and being the face of the brand. And now it's full circle moment because now I'm able to go into soccer games and go into suites and invite my daughters and absolutely free. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Relationship, social currency is what I like to call it. But it's all a result of me coming out of my comfort zone, not being an introvert anymore, and coming outside.
Yeah, I know when you post your content, you've gotten feedback or pushback sometimes for how much you're posting, and I'm with you. Like people always get caught up in one time a day or at this certain time. Like it's a just post. Like it's not as difficult. But why do you feel people always give pushback to something like that when it's working for you? Like you see your numbers is going crazy. Why do you feel they give that pushback?
I think that's just their perspective, honestly, and that's what I say. It's like, and everybody always worried about the aesthetics of their page, and the one thing that I look at, I think what they're concerned is the likes. I don't be
Yeah.
concerned with the likes, because
Yep.
what happens is I'll have a post. Trans Lee told me, he said Nuface will have a post and it'll just be might be 10 likes at the time, but your
Yep.
likes will be Little John, Swiss Beats, Rick Ross, Rock the Bells,
Yep.
85 South, and they'll repost it. And it's like, I don't, or I'll repost somebody's anniversary album. I'll be like, Monica's album came out 23 years ago today. And then they'll DM me like, oh, I forgot. Let me tell my team, or I just, yeah, send me that picture. I'll repost it. And then the next post you see them says, oh, it's the anniversary of my album. You know what I'm saying? Oh, but I reminded them that. And that's from that post that, you were scared to put out, or you didn't want on your page, or you were worried about the likes. Like, I don't worry about that, because
Yep.
behind the scenes, whether you see it or not, they're DMing me, and there's this back and forth. Like, I've got the longest relationships because of stuff like that. The DOC, legendary DOC from Dallas and West Coast and NWA, it's KLC. Like, it's like you worried about what the public is seeing, and I'm having real relationship building conversations behind the scenes in the DMs, and now we got our numbers, and now we real conversation with legends. So I don't worry about that, and again, I did that, and I watched my thing go from 668,000 views on my page in the last 30 to 1.8 million in the last 30 days. So it's like, all right, I'm getting the views. And the cool part is, what I've learned is new people coming on my page. I'll post something, and that's what I do. I'll post something from 2 years ago. I got the receipts, but you weren't following me 2 years ago, so it's new to you. It's new to you, so you're like, oh, and then all the new people are recycling, like, oh, dang, I didn't know. Oh, now I know. So now I'm seeing them, and they're like, oh, I didn't know. I knew you, but I didn't know you was like that. So it's like, it just helps with everything. So I'm just not scared. And then I look at social media like our current day hieroglyphics, like, the writing on the wall. Like, you see it. Unfortunately, when artists pass, first thing we do is go to their social media page and scrolling down, looking at all the things. And I look at my page as like, even if they shut down, hey, go to my page. You'll see it. You see your collection. Instagram owns it or don't, but I got it in my vaults and everything. But here's my contribution to the culture. You know what I'm saying? Hashtag Nuface was there, and the artist name. You'll see their whole dichotomy, their whole career right under that page. And that's my thank you to the culture. So I don't look at it as aesthetics on my page. Like Four said, he said that man has 78,000 posts. It's like, do you got 78,000 of anything in your life?
And now
it's like a TV channel. I look at my show like a TV. It's always on. You might not catch every episode, but I look at it like TV that's always on. And you might not watch when I post it, but you might catch the next post. You might. I don't care. It's just I'm keep going.
Yeah, because you're not sitting, like you said, you don't care about the likes, because if it's only one like, but that one like is somebody that will change your life, then don't worry about it. Like, so many, I have those same conversations with people, Jack Dan's linked this up, and I'm like, he watches all my interviews. So if it's just one person, do you know who he is? Like, don't get caught up in those numbers sometimes, because the real powers that be, they don't have a lot of followers. The people that make these real decisions, and you can give this insight because you know these people for real. Are the people who make the real decisions in the industry as flamboyant and braggadocious as we see on camera?
No, not at all. That's what I'm about to say. It's some people that I'm like, I know who they are. I know what they're worth. I won't say no names, and then I'll go to their Instagram page, and I'll be like, 1,200 followers? What the? And they don't post. It'd be like 2 posts, and I'm like, oh, oh, okay. Well, again, the balance. I love it, because that lets you know that everybody's not the same. Everybody doesn't go out for that, and they don't have the brand, but they got the finances and the mansion. You know what I'm saying? They got the pull that we need, that y'all looking for with your million likes, but you struggling, and you trying to make the next check, and you don't know where that's coming for because you're trying to go viral. So
you mentioned Trans Lee, another dope artist that I know you did recently did his I've Been There feature with. So what is your guys' relationship, and how great did it feel to see he reached out to have you a part of the project?
No, another brother. I heard the song. I heard he was working with Mr. Kali Park. Heard a song called "Does Anybody Love Anymore" that I listened to on repeat. And again, full circle moment. The gentleman I told you that was in Detroit that recruited everybody to come here, Damon Thomas. He was a video music director, so he did Laffy Taffy for D4L. He did T.I.'s video. He did Dun Dun by Shorty Low. He did Shoulder Lean for Young Dro. But he used to direct videos for Trans Lee. He even shot Trans Lee album cover. So they had their relationship, but it was that song, and I ended up painting a picture for him based off that "Does Anybody Love Anymore?" And I came to a show years ago at Throwbacks, gave him the art piece. He said he put it in the studio, but ever since then, he kind of knew who I was, and I just supported everything he did, and we've been friends, like going to events, everything. Watching it, I've been in multiple of his music videos, and really have a real relationship. And it's not even music. He'd pull up to my house, or he'd support my events and everything. So that's like a real friend. But like you said, a very talented introspective artist and one of the greats, man. But he's ahead of his time. But to be a part of that album was great because, again, I didn't even like my voice, but I thought about, okay, the culture. I'm like Big Rube. I thought, like, who's gonna be the Big Rube of this generation? I ain't gonna say me, but that's the feeling that I wanted to give, like the narration part on his project, and that's what I did with my parts.
So now September 22nd, you got Nuface Presents Welcome to My Party. You talk about all the times you've supported people. So what's it like now to have your event? You're presenting it and people are going to come out and support it. I've seen like Diamonds coming and Jugman. So you got a big lineup. So how's it feel to know you guys got that coming?
Oh no, that's great because it's like a dream come true because it's, I tell people I've been collecting ticket stubs all these years, but this will be the first time where it's gonna say Nuface Presents on the ticket.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Congrats.
for it to be, I have all daughters, so it was, anytime I do something, even the Trap Music Museum, it was all trap artists, but I was like, let me put some Trina in there, Mia X, Gangsta Boo, add some women. So anytime I do anything, I'm always thinking women first, ladies first. How can we add it? So naturally, Prince is a crime mob, is a great friend. Erica Duchess is on the road with Duval and T.I., and a great stand-up queen. I was introduced to Tone Marie on some supporting another friend's business. Found out she did music. We've been locked in ever since. We done with the BET Awards, Rick Ross hanger and music videos, and I put her on doing freestyles every week to a young lady named Quisha,
Yeah.
shooting a video, and she asked me to be in her music video. And then I found out how great she was, and then she was one of the people that supported me, and I posted her music videos, and she paid me for that. And it was like we just been locked in ever since, and doing the events, and I bring them to with me or introducing them something. So I was like, let's put a show together. The people center stage. Madeline is a great friend of mine. Even sometimes they have events there. She's the one that got me in or gave me tickets. Like Andre 3000, I was there because of her, and that's somebody I met. It's like the thing with Nuface is like once you meet me once, you see me a lot.
Yeah.
And so it's like she always helped me. So it was like a dream come true to have a all women format, all women performers, and then I had some surprise acts. But it's like a dream come true because it wasn't part of the plan, but it just seemed like I'm walking in my purpose. But to put eyeballs on these people and to trust me because all these artists are people that trusted me. They didn't ask for any money. They didn't ask for anything. They were like, "Oh, whatever you want to do, let's do it." So I can't wait. I can't wait for it to say sold out. Nuface Presents. That's what I'm looking forward to. Surprise guests. We loaded up. You know what I'm saying? So I can't wait to put on a great show. But I'm looking forward to the next venue that's bigger than that and bigger than that.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate goal. Because if that's the route I want to do, I want to get bigger and progress.
I know you just came from Invest Fest. Shout out to Earn Your Leisure. So is that like are we thinking Nuface was their festival? Are we thinking big like that where you're gonna have all your friends perform and have like kind of that environment?
Yeah. I thought of that even with Coulda Fest because in my head I'm like, these are just all people that Drewski called up.
Yeah.
But he was able to get a check and he's able to put money in their pockets. Who's gonna hate that? And that's the idea that I want to bring. I don't have the money now, so it's really off the love. Like, Fabo's done shows for me and Trent and asked for nothing in return, and I want to pay that back one day. But that's why my hashtag is like help me help us. Like I'm showing, and Rick Ross says this a lot. He said he was promoting for brands, and when Diddy finally hit him up, it was $1 million check because he was posting like he was working for the brand. But I want to show companies what I do, but it's gonna take somebody else behind me saying, "No, he did that, he did that, and he did that." So you know what I'm saying? That's definitely gonna be the goal. But the Coulda Fest inspired me. Invest Fest, but one music fest. I want to, I seen Kawan Prather and Friends. I see people do Nuface and Friends. DJ Drama does in Friends. So I envision like a Nuface and Friends. So it definitely the goal, but a festival, oh man, like bigger dreams,
Yeah, that would be amazing. Nuface and Friends, and like you get Ray Daniels to, all the podcasters come up and do something there. Then you come have the concert. You give back because I know you're real big on giving back too. So what's some of the things you're doing in your community to give back to people out in Atlanta and besides just doing all this dope memorabilia of culture? I know there's a lot of things you guys are doing. So what's some of the stuff you're doing to give back?
Our bar is a great local business right on Edgewood. We do meetings with city council people. giving back. She feeds the we don't call them homeless, the unhoused. She does things
Yeah.
like shower drives, gives them shoes, free meals, toiletries they give them. And then right 2 doors down, I work out of Killer Mike's barbershop. I do the help
Yeah.
do the social media. I help with the barbers, and so it's like cool because the barbers know me and everything, but they see me sweeping up the floor and they're like, bro, what are you doing? But I'm like, that's some of the things that keep me humble. Like that's, I want to feel like a normal person. So I'm sweeping up hair,
Yep.
sweeping it up and cleaning up the shop like it's like I got a summer job, you know what I'm saying? So things like that, and giving back to
Yeah.
for multiple businesses, shouting out black owned business without them even asking me, like reposting them. I see people saying I repost something like, oh man, thank you, OG. Like I appreciate that. And I was like, but that took like one button. Like I'll be thinking like
You
your
said,
team or your
yeah.
cousins don't do that. And it just lets me know how valuable and rare that's true support is with no agenda. So it's like, let me continue to do that, because I know people are watching me. So I don't want to give them a show, and let me give them some products and brands that are quality so you can get eyeballs. Because I see that a lot. They're like, I seen you on Nuface page, so I supported you, and that's what I want to people to do. I seen Quisha went to a business. I took her to an event with the mayor, and she introduced to a black coffee company, and she posted, "I'm here now," and Nuface introduced me at the mayor event, so she went there. Now she
Yeah.
knows them, and I'm telling her who invited me, and you know what I'm saying. So it's like a full circle moment, but you have to be one of those type of people to really get the concept of that, supporting each other, and it's not a one
Yeah.
way street.
Yep.
Don't support just because somebody is talking about you. Support when it's somebody else. Like, you know what I'm saying? I want to
Yep.
support your platform, the next episode, not just my episode. I want to support the other episodes too. Beehive, I do that a lot. I don't just support my episode. I'm clips of him. Drink champs, the me nor drink champs. He tell you, I used to post clips of him all the time to where they like, oh, that's the clip we need to post. Ray Daniels said that a lot. He's like, Nuface will get the clip.
Yep.
We know which clip to use. So it's like, let me just be valued. Somebody ain't gotta find a clip.
Yep.
I'll post them all on my page and you repost them. We all win.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely gonna tell you, the Hype Magazine, I'm with Stop Beef from Radio, man. Anything you need reposted, we love posting it to the social medias. We got a major network of DJs and tastemakers as you do. But like I said, we're out of Indianapolis, Indiana, so we can help spread the word any way we can. I know you're a busy person, so I'm not gonna take too much more of your time, but I want to highlight your family. You said you have a family and you're still able to do all this stuff. How are you balancing the two of those things?
Well, currently the oldest is 25 and currently made me a
Okay.
grandfather. So she's
Ah,
a
congrats.
mother. So she's a mother with a granddaughter and a grandson. I wasn't able to have a boy, so it skipped a generation. So my daughter had a son. And then the other second one is in college. She graduated from college, so it's like they're out of the house. They're grown, and our relationship is the best because they can come over and go home, and I can give them help when they need it or guidance when they need it, and talk to them. We have the best relationship. Now the younger ones is 15 and 17. One is about
Okay.
to go to college, and one is going to high school, and they're not as dependent. And they've
Yeah.
seen me in my, dropping them off at the bus, going to work, picking them up to school, going home and going out and doing the Nuface stuff. So they know
Yeah.
the results of what I'm doing. They know it's not just partying, it's partying with a purpose. So
Yeah.
they're really on their own. They're independent. I check in with them, FaceTime with them, visit them. When it's our time, it's our time. When it's Nuface time, it's Nuface time. So they really understand the concept. So it's really about focusing and prioritizing when family is family, and then sometimes I'm able to do both. I go to a
Yeah.
rap show with them or take them to a lotto show. So it's about balancing, but making sure that they still feel important and still feel a priority in my life.
Yeah.
And that's the best part. And they're very forgiving, they're very understandable, they're very supportive. They see what's going on and they reaping the benefits from it, honestly.
Yeah. Now, what do you like to do for fun? If you're not going to concerts, you're not going to podcasts and doing all this dope stuff in the content world, what are you doing to enjoy yourself?
Movies, video
Okay.
games, movies. I go to comic book store. That's my release. Comic book store, toy stores,
Ooh.
the Walmart toy aisle. You know, retail therapy. Just walking around the mall,
Okay.
getting inspiration. Just walks. Honestly, I'm known for catching the train to events. I'll be like, I'm humble. I'll catch a train, but I might be on the jumbotron on the stage. You know, I'm catching the train, but I'm on the stage with the artist. So it's like it's just the best of both worlds, and it keeps me balanced. But that's how I kind of do it in the city, man.
You ever thought about a Nuface comic book? You mean reaching out to young up and coming graphic artists and mix the Nuface was there with the memorabilia or something like that?
Oh yeah, well, I started with the animated series. As far as books, we want to do a coffee table book with my
Dope.
memorabilia and have little blobs of people speaking about it. But I want to do like a Where's Waldo book, but Where's Nuface book, where you kind of like find me in historic hip hop
Dope.
events. So imagine, you might show the Source Awards when Andre said the
Yeah.
South Ghana Sound say, and you show a picture of the audience and Nuface was there, or just imagine historic hip hop moments.
Yeah.
And then you just gotta find Nuface in these pictures, because I got pictures like that too in real, like in the crowd where the photographer took a picture and I was like, I knew where I was standing, and I posted all the time. I give a free gift if people could find me, and some people do find me. But that's definitely an idea of mine that I got coming. And I want to do my own line of Sharpies too, my
Okay.
own line of markers. That I want to do hip hop influenced names and colors, because I'm always carrying one.
Yeah.
So imagine it to be mine, and you got to think they have no competition. It's
Nope.
only Sharpie. And you might have a dollar store one, but there's no competition. They run a monopoly. So I want like 1% of that business. Give me a cut of that.
Oh yeah. I mean, you could call it the Nuface every time you're gonna sign something for memorabilia. You part of
And
new.
don't even
Have
have to
you